Morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day, actually. I've got some earbuds in to hopefully help the sound better on my meditation. A friend of mine had given me some feedback that it wasn't coming through clearly. It feels a little weird, to be honest with you, with its plugging my ears and speaking in my head, so I'm going to try it and see how it works out. Otherwise, I'm going to need to make some adjustments, but in any case, thank you for joining, and we'll start in just a couple minutes, okay? Thanks a lot. Okay, it is 10:02. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining this morning. I don't usually wear earbuds, but I was advised by a friend of mine yesterday, was kind enough to let me know that there was some kind of background noise. I think part of it was my heater. I think another part of it was the webcam that I'm using. And I wanted to come across clear. I listened to the middle of it and I noticed there was like some reverberation going on. So I want to make it as clear and just clean as possible so that you can just meditate and not have to worry about any of the rest of it. So this is an exploration with me. Right now my ears are plugged and I'm speaking. It's kind of like holding your fingers in your ear, so I don't particularly care for these type of earbuds. I think I might have to use my other ones, but right now it is what it is. So with all that said, let's meditate. Thanks for joining this morning. So just taking a nice deep breath in and just letting go of any of the stress, any of the worries. And there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do other than just simply be here in this moment. And I cannot use those earbuds, so I'm going to I feel so much more present this way. I'll try my other earbuds, so excuse me. So just relaxing into this moment. Just relaxing into this moment. Again, there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do other than just to be here now. And when we're truly practicing the present moment, that is to say, we're not dragging the past into this moment, and we're not bringing our future worries of what might happen, and most likely won't. If we're being honest with ourselves, most of the things we worry about never come to fruition. But even if they do, I find more and more that as I trust life, as I trust God, everything is exactly the way it needs to be. And that is just freedom to have that kind of trust, that we don't have to be fighting against life and that we can flow with it, and to know that we're being well taken care of. Even those things our mind would judge as bad or wrong. And it's maybe especially those things that our mind would judge as bad or wrong, because it's those very things that are being brought to us, not to irritate us or annoy us or agitate us, but to literally help us to awaken to who we are. But it's those things that are bothering us are the very things that stand in the way of our recognition of the truth of who we are. And you don't have to believe me with that. I would actually prefer you don't believe anything I say. You just explore with it and you try it all on. And if it fits, wonderful. And if it doesn't, it's okay. It's okay. Ultimately, everyone must do or should do what's best in their heart. I don't even know. I don't really care for the word should. So I would say the invitation, the opportunity is there. And what if you and everyone else in the whole world and the whole universe is perfect exactly the way it is? Now the mind and the ego might kick on and say, are you kidding me? Really? You're going to tell me it's perfect with all the climate change and the terrorism and the political upheavals that go on and social injustice, and obviously we could go on and on. There's no shortage of opportunities. And to be honest with you, when I heard the word, this is just another opportunity, I was very annoyed with that word. And I don't know, I'm like, to hell with you. To hell with you in this opportunities. I don't want no more damn opportunities, right? We've all been there, and maybe some of us are there now. I don't know. But it's okay. It's okay. I've gotten in touch more and more with peace. And one of the reasons that has happened is I just am flowing with life more. I'm not resisting life as much as I used to. There's a few things. I still notice that I fight back with my food addiction, my so-called food addiction, which, by the way, is simply another thought of the mind, another belief of the mind. And this too is transcendable. Is that a word? It is now. But all thoughts, all beliefs, all feelings are, of course, part of the mind, and we can transcend them all to where true freedom resides. And the truth of who we are resides. You know, sometimes it actually strikes me as being funny of how hard we make it with life. And living as the truth of who we are can be so simple and easy. I mean that. And that might sound annoying to the mind, because the mind is like, again, to hell with you, you think this is easy and da 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 da. But it's really just all a play of the mind. It's all a play of the mind. The mind wants to be somebody. And the mind thinks it knows what happiness is. But let's honestly look at that. How could the mind possibly know what happiness is? The mind judges everything. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. Everything it judges. And as long as we come from the mind and the duality, there is absolutely no way we can ever experience peace, sustaining love, or sustaining joy. It's not possible, because there might be temporary moments. Maybe we get a big bundle of money and all of a sudden we're happy. How long will that happiness last? We see plenty of people with a lot of money that do not exude joy in their life. Maybe temporary moments, but nothing that is lasting. I'm not interested in sharing a meditation or sharing of myself in any way that's only going to provide a temporary fluff with life. To be a motivational speaker is not enough to motivate somebody if it's short-lived. We might be temporarily inspired, or we might be inspired to make a lifelong commitment. That's possible too. And as an inspirational speaker, I understand this. I understand. I want to share something that does inspire people, but not that's going to inspire them for a temporary change. It's not enough. I said this yesterday. I think it was yesterday. My heart cries for more. My heart cries for God. My heart cries for peace and love and joy. And I am grateful for that cry. I'm grateful for it because living a mediocre life is not enough for me. And with that said, we need to let our attachments go with that as well. In fact, right now I invite you to let go of all attachments, all desires. Osho used to say that desires are the source of all stress. Just consider that for a moment. If we didn't have any attachments and we didn't have any desires, then no matter what life brings us, we can be at peace and we can be in flow with life and God in the universe. And in that flow, when we're not fighting against life and we're flowing with it, we experience gratitude, appreciation. Appreciation leads to gratitude. Gratitude leads to love. And that's the teachings of the Ashaya Ascension. Praise, gratitude, and love. That's where we keep our focus on. And anything that you put attention to, it grows in your world. But what's also true, when you put attention on praise and gratitude and love, guess what will happen? Life will bring you all the things that stand in the way of truly realizing praise, gratitude, and love. So in some ways, keeping our attention on it does not necessarily mean that things are easy at first. It may mean that it brings up all the things that stand in the way of fully realizing praise, gratitude, and love. And ultimately, that's who we are. And so, although it brings up those things that stand in the way of it, simultaneously, it's leading you deeper within to that formless truth of who you are. The one that is beyond the body and the physical mind, beyond all the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, experiences. All those things are fleeting at best. Our thoughts, our feelings, even our beliefs change along the way, but they all come and go, as does our body and our mind. We can't take anything with us. So we have to look beyond anything physical. We have to look beyond anything outside of ourselves. And when I say outside of ourselves, I mean the physical body as well. And when I say that you are perfect and that there's absolutely nothing you need to fix or change or heal to be the truth of who you are. The only thing that needs fixing, the only thing that needs healing, the only thing that is broken is simply the idea of who you think you are, of who your ego thinks you are. Your core self knows exactly who it is, because there's not all these old beliefs, these old limiting beliefs from the past that block you from recognizing that truth. That's why it's so important when we invite you to let go of the past. You're letting go of all the ideas of who you thought you were. Because what is the ego? What is the personality? Who are you? And if you asked people who they are, they would begin to describe themselves probably physically. Well, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm 61, I'm thin, I like nature, and we go on to describe all these beliefs, ideas, and concepts. So who are you? Well, your ego believes that it has a description and a label as to who you are. I'm inviting you to go beyond all the labels and descriptions by first letting go. I'm inviting you to let go of all these old stories and beliefs of who you have thought yourself to be. All of them. And letting go of the stories of who you think you should be. And I do mean if you think you should be loving, kind, compassionate, considerate. All those are just putting some kind of agenda in your life of how you're supposed to be. If somebody walks up and punches your child in the nose, well, now you should be loving, you should be kind. I don't think that's how you're going to feel in that moment. You might feel angry, frustrated. You might have hatred as a feeling. And the feeling is not who you are, but if you deny it or repress the feeling, you will pay the price for that one. That's the best way that I can say it. And depression is simply unexpressed anger, unexpressed emotions. So it doesn't do you any good to suppress or deny any feelings you have. And let's just back it up a little. You have a thought. I usually use the example that somebody cuts in front of you with their car, because everyone can relate to that. Like, you idiot. You have that thought, and you have this belief that this guy's an idiot. And then there's this feeling that follows it. This feeling that follows it. Again, maybe anger, frustration, hatred even. There is nothing wrong with any of that. You can have whatever thought, whatever belief, whatever feeling arises, as long as you are recognizing that it is your mind saying these things and not who you are. How do we know it's the mind? It is rooted in judgment. It is rooted in duality. And so that's why I invite you to transcend the mind. I invite you to let go of all the beliefs of the mind so that you can have a direct experience as to who you are. You can see that you are beyond all thoughts, all feelings, all beliefs. Jesus says, be in the world, but not of it. Yes, be in the world. Notice your thoughts. Notice the beliefs. Notice the feelings, but don't be pulled into them, into the world. I'm not entirely sure I had that, be in the world but not of it. I think that's correct. Hopefully you got the gist of it. To just simply be a witness to the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs. A lot of times where we get hooked up at, where we get tricked and trapped, is that we believe we are the ones doing the thinking. What? I'm not the one doing the thinking? You are off your rocker. I'm done with this meditation. Who is the one doing the thinking? You have a thought, this guy is an idiot. But if you are that thought, if you are the one doing the thinking, then who is the one that is aware of that thought? If you are the one doing the thinking, who is the one that is witnessing and watching that thought? And you may have another thought. You may have the awareness. There is some awareness with the ego, with your person, that has the awareness like, okay, I see that I'm judging that person, that they're an idiot for cutting in front of me. Can you also be aware of that? Can you be aware of the one who is aware? Therein lies the peace of God. That's the words that I hear. Therein lies the peace of God. Yes, we can be aware of our judgments, our feelings, our beliefs, our experiences. But if we're still being pulled into those, then we have to look a little deeper to find that peace that we are. That peace that you have always been seeking. But there comes a point in time where the seeking falls away and you recognize that you are the very one you have been seeking. There's no seeking left because you are already that truth. You are already the peace. You are already joy. You are already love. You are already truth. And you are already in the oneness, the non-physical, formless truth that is one with our beloved Creator. And with all of the universe, because when you step into the non-physical, that's all that's left is consciousness, awareness, God. And just bringing your awareness to your breath right now. And just simply notice it. And just notice that the breath doesn't require anything. It happens all by itself. And we don't need to try or put any effort forth with it. We don't need to do anything other than simply witnessing it. And that is you. So I want to circle back now. I said, you are not the thinker. And we've explored to look at that if you are the thought, then who is the one witnessing the thought? And then who is the one that is witnessing, that is aware of the one witnessing the thought and the feeling, but still in judgment? Some may get this and some may not. Either way is absolutely perfect. Just stay in the awareness of it all. Just notice the thoughts. If thoughts come up, or feelings, or beliefs, just notice those and just allow them to gently and effortlessly pass on by. So I'm inviting you to empty out all that which you are not right now, so that the only thing that will remain is who you are, which is pure conscious awareness. And that pure conscious awareness does not require any physical form whatsoever. You do not need your mind to see this. Your mind cannot see it. We so often turn to our mind for the answers. We turn to our mind for solutions. How am I going to get happy? How do I figure this out? We turn to the mind as if it's our master and us its slave. And we are indeed a slave to the mind if we're being pulled into the world of duality, which is where suffering and struggle and all stress lie, with the mind. And it's okay, there's nothing bad or wrong. The mind has a function, but its function isn't to be our master. It isn't to be our God. So if you are not the thinker from the mind, who are you? How can you maintain intelligence without the mind? Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge that the mind is finite. Your soul, your truth is infinite. But you don't have to believe me. This invitation is to empty out so fully, so completely, that you see that you are more than your body, more than your mind. And in that seeing, in that awareness, you notice that there is still an intelligence there. There is still some energy, some presence that is able to help you to be aware in an intelligent way and to respond to inspirations in an intelligent way. And you see that this intelligence also contains wisdom, all from us simply being a witness to life. So I ask you, are you ready to give up the limitations of the mind? Yes, use the mind, but not as a master, as a servant. And it is not to serve you, to help you figure out anything whatsoever. I've told this story some in the past, but it's worth sharing again. Spirit has played songs in my head for a long time now to coach me and guide me. And the one day they were playing the song, "Try to Figure It Out." And fortunately for you, that's all I'm going to give you. And so I'm trying to figure out what the song is, what message it's sending me. The song is singing, trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to figure out what the song is about. And then finally, I believe after several days, if I recall, I had an aha moment. There was something that was bothering me, and I was so in my head trying to figure out, leaning on the mind to give me the solution to the so-called problem. But if you've ever noticed when there's something that you're trying to figure out, it's usually when we stop trying to figure out and it's like, I just give up. Actually, we don't want to give up. We just want to surrender it. Surrender it over to God. Surrender it over to life. And then know that it will return to us in a healthy, proper way. But if we look to the mind, and if the mind comes up with a solution, it will never, ever be as good of a solution as divine wisdom itself. God wisdom itself. So I finally realized that I was trying to figure it out. I was in my head, and immediately I knew exactly what the song meant. I'm trying to figure it out. Stop trying to figure this out. And then when I got that lesson, Spirit came to me and said, there is nothing to figure out. I'm like, what? Nothing to figure out? Are you kidding me? In that moment, it kind of blew my mind. I had leaned so heavily on my intelligence, my mental intelligence, my mind intellect. And I even had stories. I'm a pretty intelligent person. And even some ego with that. I feel like I'm more intelligent than others. And of course, because of my insecurity, I would try to prove that out in different ways in the world. I am somebody. I'm intelligent. And I even had the story in the intelligence that I was wise. I know better than others because all the work that I have done. That's not wisdom. Wisdom does not come from the head. It comes from the heart. And when I say the heart, not the physical heart, but that spiritual heart, that love that is beyond anything mental, beyond all the mental limitations of who we have thought ourselves to be. So yes, you are enough. And yes, you have all the answers you need within yourself. The only problem is, at times, is you are not patient in waiting for it. The ego is not patient. The ego wants the answers right now. I need to know the answer to this because I don't like this lesson and I'm trying to escape it and get rid of it as soon as possible. Do you hear that? It's not that life is preventing us from learning. It's asking us to trust and have faith that the answer, this God intelligence, this spiritual wisdom, the answer is here right now at all times. But it will not be presented until it is right and divine timing. But our mind says, no. I am not happy with this lesson. I need to know this right now. And what happens? We end up feeling stress. We end up feeling the struggle of life because we are wanting life to be different than what it is in that moment. And there it is. There's your stress. We have an attachment, a desire for life to be a certain way that we think it should be to bring us happiness. That's why I'm inviting you to let go of all your attachments and all your desires and know that as you flow with life, you will naturally feel this peace, this joy, this love, because there's no resistance. And you even take on the posture, Father, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know, I see that this is bringing up my stuff. It's bringing up my fears that I've held on to for too long. And I know why you're bringing this, because you're bringing this to me so that I can see something is askew and I need to let this go to return to the truth of who I am. And the more you trust and have faith that life and God are on your side, there is literally a gratitude for everything that presents itself. So we spend so much time working on ourselves. Who are we working on? Who are we working on? Are we working on our God selves? Our true selves? Or are we working on fixing the idea of who we think we are, because we think we are not enough? We think we are broken. We think we need fixing. Think, think, think. All beliefs of the mind. All the stories that the egoic self has accumulated over the years, convincing us this is who we are. So this ego, this personality, this self-image, it's just all stories that we have accumulated over the years. I'm inviting you right now to let go of every single story, every single belief, all your feelings, everything of the past. Empty all of it out, even the memories. Because again, we do not need to access the mind. The cosmos has all the memories that are ever needed, all the information that's ever needed, all the wisdom that's ever needed, when it's needed. And so when I invite you to just empty out everything, I literally mean everything. Because the one thing that you can never empty out or get rid of is you. You can empty out, empty until you're completely empty, and the only thing that will remain is you, present, conscious awareness. And even though we empty out even the physical self, it doesn't mean your physical self disappears, because you don't need to believe or hold on to anything to still have the experience that is required for your awakening in this moment and in any moment. So you can try to hold on to your money, try to hold on to your loved ones, try to hold on to relationships, try to hold on to your body, try to hold on to life itself. But it's all unnecessary effort, because you still remain. And the experience that life and God has to give you still remains, which is in this body, this physical body. But this body doesn't remain because you hold on to it. It remains because this is what life and God, the experience that you are being brought to awaken. So I invite you, anything you are holding on to, I invite you to let go of it all. And as you can see, I've made the choice to let go of it all, and I am still here. I have not gone away anywhere. My body is still here. My physical mind is still here. But there's an emptiness that is gone. that returns, and that emptiness being gone returns us to the freedom, the truth, and the beauty of who we are, who we have always been, and who we will always be. And just bringing your conscious awareness back to your breath. And as you're just witnessing the breath, most likely there will be some thoughts that come in. You don't need to do anything with the thoughts, just allow them to gently and effortlessly pass on by. And when a gentle, comfortable breeze passes by us, we don't judge the breeze. We don't try to get rid of it. We don't analyze it. Why is this happening? What do I need to do? We don't try to talk it away. There's no fight or struggle with it. Why? Because we recognize that it is not who we are. It is absolutely no different with your thoughts. When you recognize that you are not your thoughts, then you can just gently and effortlessly allow them to pass on by. You don't need to use your self-talk. Now, Brett, you shouldn't be talking that way. That wasn't very loving. That wasn't very spiritual. Wow, you're very judgmental. These are just a few of the many thoughts. And you can understand why some people call this the demon, the devil. Because the mind is not nice, it's not kind. Whatever one wants to call it, it doesn't matter. What we can recognize, though, is that it's not who we are. And just to allow those thoughts to just gently and effortlessly pass on by and come back to simply being aware of your breath, which returns you to the present moment and returns you back home to who you are, the witness to life. And if your mind has drifted, just allow the thought to just gently and effortlessly pass on by and come back to being aware of your breath. And again, just coming back to being aware of the breath. And you may have thoughts sometimes, feeling restless. Can you just notice that and be with that? Not try to push it away or fight it. Just simply notice it and return to coming all the way back to the present moment. And coming back to the present moment is like hitting the reset button. Anything that you have judged yourself for as doing bad or wrong, all the guilt, the shame, the blame. It disappears when you're in the present moment. It's only when you bring the past in that it is a problem. So I'm just inviting you anytime during this meditation, even in life, as soon as you feel you're stressed, notice that you're either worrying about the future or most likely you're bringing the past into the present moment. As soon as you have that awareness, just simply come back to the awareness. You can use the breath if you want, whatever you want to use, but just come back to being the witness of life. Sometimes when we're meditating, we can be aware that we have lost the sense of our physical body. And this can be a wonderful time to recognize that you are being conscious and aware without any physical help whatsoever. Because consciousness, awareness, does not require anything physical whatsoever. Nothing. You are formless, non-physical consciousness. And the more you can recognize that you are not the physical body in any form or shape, you begin to connect with your true self at a deeper level, the formless truth of who you are. And again, now just coming back to being a witness, a non-physical witness to your thoughts and your breath. But keep your attention on your breath. And just coming back to being aware of your breath. And we're going to begin to bring this meditation to completion. If any of you would like to continue meditating, please either mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it a lot. For those of you who are ready to finish, just taking in a nice deep breath. Making sure you fully energize this physical form that helps us to get around in this life. Move your body a little bit, stretch it. And take your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And I'm going to pop over on Facebook if anybody would like to share who's there, to say hi, or if you have any comments or questions. Let's see here. Oh, hi, Cheryl. I don't know if you're still here, Cheryl Link. Nice to see you, my friend, or nice to be with you. And Diana, why do you go by Diana now or Diane? Because you were always Diane, but I see Diana now. Anyhow, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Happy Transcendable Groundhog Day. Yes, Michelle, thank you. Thanks for joining, my friend. And that's it for right now. And Cheryl Gronstedt. I missed that. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. And let's see. I'm going to pop over to YouTube and let's see. And I don't know if it's you, Sandy, or if anybody would like to say something. So in any case, I guess that is about it. So thank you so much for whoever's out there joining. I appreciate it a lot. And so tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m. on Zoom and Facebook for who would like to join, Sandy. So the letting go leads to spirit awareness and knowledge, because I'm wondering what's next. So the letting go leads to spirit awareness, spiritual awareness and knowledge, because I'm wondering what's next. Well, first of all, I'd let go of what's next, because if you say what's next, that's going to move you into the future and not living in the present moment. So it will take you out of that. There really is no next. What's true is just to, when you transcend the mind, when you recognize that the intelligence and the memory is not actually the you that you have thought yourself to be, then you connect with your true self that is connected and aligned with God, with life, with the universe. And that intelligence, the necessary intelligence, the necessary wisdom, the inspired action, all arises out of the God consciousness and a God awareness, which you are in alignment with that. That is you. It's like maybe as God is the ocean of water, you are a drop of water out of that ocean. You are part of the all-encompassing ocean, though. So any spiritual, any intelligence and any wisdom, and what was the other thing you said? Knowledge, anything that you want to know is accessible through the spiritual realm. But we have to let go of looking to the mental realm, looking to the mind, because that is not the truth. So I hope that is helpful. And then you say, have a good day, by the way. Okay, yeah. So yeah, if anything else pops up on that, Sandy, you're welcome to private message me or whatever, or put it on here. But thank you for joining, and thank you for the question. Because when you ask it, it helps everybody. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. I love you guys. I'm gonna just quick pop in on Facebook too, see if there's any other questions or comments. So we're good there. So all right, you guys have a beautiful day. I will connect up with you soon. All right. Bye bye.